Hello, this is Reza Rad from Radacad. In this video, I want to talk about time travel, the ability to go back in time and seeing the version of data before it changed using Microsoft Fabric Lakehouse that has the data stored, and also Fabric Notebook that you can use write a Python code or a Spark SQL code, see different versions of the data, see the data before it changed. You can even save that as a separate table, or you can restore your current table. You can compare that data with the current data that you have. Let's go and check it out and see how all of this works. One of the very useful features of Microsoft Fabric Lakehouse or even Warehouse is the ability to do time travel, and that is because the way that delta table structure is. Delta table format is the way that the tables are stored. The data of those is stored as different Parquet files, and the changes of those, the metadata of those changes, is stored in a group of JSON files. I have explained in another video in full details what is the Delta Lake storage format, and I highly recommend you to go and watch that to learn how that works. One of the features that this gives us is the ability to do time travel, to go back in time and see the version of data at that point of the time. This could be helpful in troubleshooting, like you see the data that is different than the data of yesterday, but because the data got updated over time, it is the same table that the data of that got updated. There is no way for you to see yesterday's data and compare it with that. Whereas using this time travel capability, you can do it. Now, how does this work? Well, of course, your data has all of these timestamp in the changes for it. You'll just need to know how to query that data, and I'm going to show you, which is really interesting. So what I'll have here is I have my Fabric workspace, and I have one Lakehouse which I'm going to use in this example. So this Lakehouse, as you can see it here, it has a group of tables in it. Sales table is the table that I want to use. Now I'm going to connect to it using Notebook, because Notebook gives you ability to do all of these interactions with the object. So I'll use Notebook, and in the Notebook we can write pretty much any types of code in different languages of Python, R, Scala, or Spark SQL. And I have explained about Notebook separately, what it is, how this can be helpful. So make sure you go and check out that video if you want to know more about Notebook as well. Here I'll go and connect to my existing Lakehouse, which is this Lakehouse. And we are going to use some codes to see the history of the changes. So here, this is my Lakehouse. These are my tables, as you can see. The first code I want to show you is this code that we can just see the history of changes. It is called describe, if I can type it right over here, describe history, and I would put the table name. In this case, that is fact internet sales. So if I just run this code, what you'll see is that it will show you one record per the time that this table's data got updated. It might be update, delete, insert, restore, any actions that happened on that. Now, normally that doesn't take that much long time. Now it is taking this much time because the first time you run a Notebook code, it is creating a connection to the Spark instance behind the scene. That connection takes time. After that, running all the different versions of it would be quite fast. So here you can see that in this place, I'll enable zooming, makes it easier to see. As you can see here, I have 4 different versions of this. I have 4 different versions of this table, and it shows that at which timestamp this data got updated. So the last time that this got updated was 11th of December. This is UTC time. It shows that this was an update or replace table, depending on what we have done on this table. This might be a data flow that was running, or a notebook that updated the data, and all of that. It does not show me the data itself, though. Now, let's say I want to update the data and see that data after the update. So before doing the update, I would just select some of these data so that you can see. I can say, for example, select star from this table, fact internet sales table, limit 10. That way I'm just getting the top 10 records of this table. This is a Spark SQL, which is slightly different than normal SQL. So this should show me the top 10 records of this table, which, as you can see, it's over here. And let's say we focus on the sales amount column. So this is the value of the sales amount column as you can see it. But I may want to see the value of the sales amount before a change happened. So this is the data as of now. But what if I want to see this data before it changed? And there are different ways that we can get that data before it changed. One of the ways is that I could use something such as a Python code that gives me that information. Now I'm using this Python code to show me that information, but this could be done also using SQL code as well. So I'll come here, I'll write that Python code, and I'll explain it while I'm doing it. So I'm reading this Delta Lake table format. I'm using timestamp of. The keyword here is actually this. I'm saying that give me the data at this specific timestamp. And the timestamp, I can use any of these. So this is like, I want this before update. So I would say, let's get this version. So I'll copy that. And I'll come and use that timestamp over here. So this would be before this update, whatever it was. We should see is the sales amount different or not. And the path that I'm looking at is the path that I would have these tables. So I will say tables / fact internet sales is the table that I want. Once I read that, then I can say, well, give me or display the data frame. So this Python code will read that table as that particular timestamp and then store it in a data frame, like a variable. We could then see the data of that variable in this view. So this is that table, but at that point of time. So if I go to the right, I should see the sales amount, which you see it's totally different. The sales amount here is like for these values is 2.29, whereas over there, the data as of now is not like that. The sales amount column here is a big value over there. So I'm looking at the data before the change. Not only I can look at this data, I can actually save this data as a separate table. And I can actually copy this piece of code that do that. Now, this piece of code is saving that data frame as a table. So these two first lines of code is just enabling vorder and optimize write, which is recommended settings that we would have when we are writing data as a Delta Lake table format. I'm going to call this fact internet sales table, and I put an underscore. I can now put that version or timestamp right over here. I could say copy this and bring it over here, pasting it here. So what this does, it is actually saving that table. You see that this line here does writing data in a Delta format, saving it in a table. You would need DBO here if you are storing in a Lakehouse with schema. This is a Lakehouse without a schema, so I'll just remove that DBO part of it, and I would run this. So what happens is that now this data at that particular point of time, which is stored in this data frame, I'm storing that data frame as another table, and the table is already stored. So if I refresh this here, I should see that table. So I have a table at that particular point of time, or I have a table with the current data. Quite useful. Then you can have a Power BI report that compare these two. Not only you can do this with Python, you can also use Spark SQL to do that. And that is quite interesting. The way that this works in a Spark SQL is kind of using the same keyword. So I would do it this way. I would say, for example, select star from fact internet sales. And this time I'm using Spark SQL. So I would say select fact internet sales, but then I would say timestamp as of And I can use the same timestamp over here. And let's say we just want to have the top 10 records. So I'm querying from the main table, not from the version that I've created. From the main table, but I'm saying that give me the data at this timestamp, right? So when I run this, I should see the data at that point of time. And this time it is Spark SQL, which is much more favorable if you are a database person, because Spark SQL might be a better language for you to work with, simpler language, right? And you can see this is the data at that point of time. Not only you can query it this way, you can also query it using version. And what is version? When you look at this describe output, this is the output of the describe command. When we run that describe command, we get an output like this. In this output, we have a timestamp column, we have a version column. You could use timestamp or you could use version to get to that particular version of data. So if I want to get this data, which I think is like before the update is this, I could use the timestamp or I could use the version number. You see version number is 2. So back in my code, I could even say, instead of timestamp of, I could say version as of, and I don't need those quotes anymore because it's a number. I would say version 2. This should give me exactly the same output. So either use version or either use timestamp of. Both are the same thing. Describe history table is really helpful. You see, I have exactly the same thing. Now here is another interesting thing. Not only you can query this data at that point of the time, you can restore your table to that version of the data, which is quite interesting. The way that it works, again, you can do it either using Python or a Spark SQL. I'll show you the Spark SQL. There is a restore table command. So I could say restore table, fact internet sales, and the rest would be exactly the same as we used before. So I could say to version as of 2, because that was the version that I had. So if I run this, now my fact internet sales table would get updated back to the version at that point of time. You could use 2 version as of, or you could also say 2 timestamp as of. Both of these methods are available. Now, after you have done this, you see this is done. If I go and query data from that table itself without any timestamp constraint, if I say select star from fact internet sales, limit 10, now my current data is changed back to that version 2 of data. So here you should see that my sales amount is this and not that number that you have seen here. Here my sales amount was a much bigger number, as you can see here. And if I use that describe history one more time, the interesting thing is that if I use that describe history one more time, I could see this action also in my history. Describe history of that fact internet sales. This time we would see also restore as one of the actions over here, which you can see it over here as well. And this is including all the previous versions that we had over there. So very interesting way to play with your data. You could store these tables as a separate table. You could just use this Spark SQL or even Python to compare this data, fetch the records. You can bring them into Power BI and visualize it, compare different versions. Really useful for troubleshooting. You want to show it to your business users and say, well, this is different because yesterday data was this, now today's data is this. And this capability only gives you a 30 days period, because after 30 days all the data gets wiped out. So I can go back to yesterday, to a week ago, even to like 25 days ago, but I cannot go back to like 40 days ago's data. That is a limitation at the moment in Fabric, Lakehouse, and Warehouse. It might change in the future, but that is how it is. But still, this is a very helpful way to troubleshoot your data. I hope this video helped you in your Power BI and Microsoft Fabric implementation. I'm Reza Rad. We have videos like this on a weekly basis on Microsoft Fabric and Power BI. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, go ahead and subscribe into our YouTube channel. Until the next video. Bye.